11, but he don't really get it. Fighting for love, but we ain't can enable. Motherfuckers, fuck with a nigga, bro. Imagine that being your second track, nigga. What would you think you were? It's Notorious A.C.E. You're tuning into Mind Behind the Movement. This track we're doing today is Fighting for Love. Let's get it. 7:57, laid in my bed and I'm looking up to heaven. Look at my bro, man, that nigga like 11, but he don't really get it. Fighting for love, but we ain't can enable. First, you gotta know what the Cain and Abel story is, whatever. So Cain kills his brother. Really, Cain kills part of himself when he does that, but we're not gonna get into that. And more so, he does that just because they're fighting for the father's love, and father is God. And Abel was favored, but Cain wasn't favored. So the whole point of that is they were really just fighting for love. Like, you know, Cain just wanted to be loved by like the father, really. But for me, it was more so like, I just remember just laying in bed looking at my bro, just like thinking that like, well, like I'm trying to fight for self-love, really, because like it just took me a while to like learn who the fuck I was as a person. But like it was an internal like battle for love more so than a self-love battle. So it's like we're fighting for love. It's a different type of love, but like luckily we have the love of our parents, you know what I mean? I grew up in the house that was religious, so when that nigga stabbed me in the back, it looked like Judas. So really, I grew up in the house that was religious. My dukes were hella religious, you know, just always made sure we knew hella Bible stories, just knew your faith, really. So it's more so growing up, and when someone betrayed you, it was like I had to learn just to like look beyond the action. When the nigga stabbed me in the back, he looked like Judas, because Judas betrayed Jesus, but in the same sense, Jesus didn't he didn't look at him any differently, you know. It was more so like we're all flawed, so we're all gonna like betray each other type thing. So it's like, you know, like he already knew he was getting betrayed, but yet still loved the nigga. It's like different, you know. And if I tell you stories of my life, you tell me prove it. I give you all my trust, please don't abuse it, cause I'm the type of nigga that will fight before I lose it. I'm the type of nigga fuck around and go stupid. I tell the truth is I grew up ruthless, stuck in my thoughts, I can't escape it. And just fighting my fucking battles inside my head, cause I think about everything else and like everything else with that. So it's like my mind just battling with like trying to figure out who I am, trying to figure out what the world is. That's just all internal demons. The I Give You All My Trust was really where the All My Trust name came from for the album, because it was just Fighting for Love was my second track made, so we made Come Home and then Fighting for Love. And it's like I'm like, oh, when I drop I'm gonna show these niggas I'm the illest nigga alive, because when I drop my first project is gonna be a fucking album, you know. I'm like, these niggas don't even know what's coming. So, you know, I'm like, what's the album title gonna be? And like from day one, just me writing the second track, I'm like, I don't know. But you know, that went in there, and it's just like the whole process of me making All My Trust was just to give my heart in it and like try to be like me, trying to figure out what artist I am, just making like my second track, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it my way. So it's like, I don't know, it just came way early, and just it resonated quickly, because Fighting for Love really was like the champion of the album, you know what I mean? If I tell you stories of my life, you tell me prove it. I give you all my trust, please don't abuse it. It's like, if I tell you stories of my life, my nigga, you still ain't gonna believe it, you know? Like, man's still battling with fucking demons and all that, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I'm like trying to figure out how I'm trying to feed y'all my world, and like, you know, let you know me. But it's like, are you even gonna believe what I tell you? I grew up in a house that was religious. My pop said, take your faith everywhere and use it. And if that nigga stabs you in the back, you show him love. Man, if that nigga takes it off your hands, you give him more. That nigga stabs you in the back, you show him love. Same ways, like, you know, same thing that I was preaching before. It's like, if a nigga do you wrong, in like some ways, it's just like, just looking within the nigga and like, all right, you know, like, I don't know, at least give a nigga a second chance. So it's like, show him love. Like, I ain't gonna hate you at least, nigga. Like, I love you at like my cousin anyways, you know what I mean? I'm gonna trust you differently. That's like a different situation. And the nigga takes it off your hand. Like, if a nigga fucking violates you, you know, you still give him more hope, like give him more like chances. Like in the hypothetical sense, you know, if he takes it off your hand, you know, you give him more again. That's also still coming from the Bible. So it's just all hella Bible references for my Bible students out there, you know. All right. 7:57, laid in my bed and I'm looking up to heaven. Look at my bro, man, that nigga like 11, but he don't really get it. Fighting for love, but we ain't can enable. 7:57, laid in my bed and I'm looking up to heaven. Look at my bro, man, that nigga like 11, but he don't really get it. Fighting for love, but we ain't can enable. Boom. So that's the end of first verse. Let's keep it going. Second verse, this is where all the movement was written, where the movement was made from. Let's get it. Yeah, I just wanna be loved. I just want you by my side. Maybe love me for the time, maybe want me in my prime. Baby, tell me that I'm fly. Baby, look me in my eyes, I don't wanna hear no lies. I'll eat the food if you gon' ride. We've passed self-love, really, you know? It's like, not self-love, now I'm looking for love within like other people, like within a partner type shit, you know what I mean? Like within shorties, you know what I mean? What I want, you know, I just wanna be loved. You know, at least you could love me in my prime. That's the funny part, you know what I mean? Usually you wouldn't put that in, like, but it's like, even if you can't love me for me, at least, you know, when a nigga's winning, love me for that, you know what I mean? Maybe love me in my prime. Baby, look me in my eyes, I don't want to hear no lies. You can look at a nigga in the eyes and lie to a nigga, that's a cold-hearted shit, so. That bullshit ain't gonna slide. Man, no, that bullshit ain't gonna slide. Living in a house full of love, I wanted more, dash it to the floor, kick it out the door. Just want a different type of love. So living in a house full of love, I wanted more, dash it to the floor, kick it out the door. Going back to the sense that, like, my nigga, I had love in the house. Like, you know, my dude showed us love, you know what I mean? But I just wanted more, like, you know, looking outside of parental love. Just taking that as what it is. So, like, you know, mistreating it, like, you know, kicking it out, like, you know, kicking on the floor, dashing out the door. It's like not even bothering about that love, you know, you're just chasing for something else type. Seen her, I thought she deserves it. My heart and my soul's what I put in them purses. My heart and my soul's what she chewed and regurged it. Self-explanatory, really. Seen her, I thought she deserves it. You try to give her love, and really she just shits on it. But like, really, it's just heartbreak. But you know what I mean? It's like you put everything into it, and it's like if it's not reciprocated, or if it doesn't go the right way, it's really still your heart, your soul, like your, you know, just love you put in the purses. She chew and regurgitate, so it's like she took it in, you know, for the short while you were with the person, but it's like at the end of the day she gave it back to you. It's like, nigga, I don't want it type thing. You looked in the mirror, I guess I am worth it. Tears down my face, asked the Lord for my blessing. He looked down at me and said, son, you was chosen. This goes deeper than even like anything, really. I just had to put my mind in like a different mindset, and like I'm like, just pick a time and just write about the time, you know what I mean? And this just came up, fighting for love, and I'm like, all right, let's get it. Just write about fighting for love, and it's just like, literally I remember just crying, just based off of love, really, you know? So it's just like, I looked in the mirror, I guess I ain't worth it. That's going back to self-love. It's still just me, just like, you thinking less of yourself, you know? So I looked in the mirror, I guess I ain't worth it. Tears down my face as the Lord for my blessing. He looked down at me and said, son, you was chosen. Everything goes back in full circle. So fighting for love, because we ain't Cain and Abel. The whole point with Cain and Abel's story is God favored Abel, but the Bible never tells you why. You know, it's not like they never said Cain's offering wasn't good enough or anything. It's just they never told you why. And like, you have to really understand that to really get it. It's like, sometimes life just doesn't work out the way you want it. You know what I mean? It's like, it might not even be your fault. You don't know why it's not. Like, you know what I mean? Shit could happen, you just don't even know why. But it's besides the point. That's what it's all going towards, like me saying. It's like at least it wasn't that like I felt like I wasn't favored, because, you know, he looked down at me and said, son, you was chosen. Like, at the end of the day, he still favored a nigga. It's like, so I ain't fighting for love with my brother, because it's like, we don't have to fight for the Father's love, because regardless, like, we're all favored in his way. Trying to find self-love, trying to find love, it's just a journey, really. So, oh man, my guy, it goes like this.
Yeah.
Oh man, look, it's a fucking thought process of like trying to figure it out. It goes this.
Yeah.
I write, stop here, ends there, right?
Yeah.
I try to start there, whatever.
Yeah.
Picked it up here, wrote the thing, ends there. Nothing else for a while. Feelings freestyle, you know. So it's like I was still trying to be on the same thought, but like I was probably almost about to scrap it. Wrote some shit, scrapped it, picked it up from there. Damn, bro. It's just crazy. It's like mod, like it was really just all scrambled. Like I remember thinking it was just like scrambled thought. That's why I keep saying like I ain't the niggas writing these bars. Like only till like a couple months ago I started feeling like I was the niggas writing these bars, because like really it's just I was just like hoping a nigga could write some bars down for me, and my nigga, someone up there was writing some bars down. I'm like, shit, nigga, I don't know how this shit is coming up. If you had a luck, pretty God, you see them better days. And if you had a trust looking up, you see them heaven's gate. Story of my life, how we brought me out of darker days. How we told me, bro, you gotta play. How we sent me with some heaven's gate. Send me down with some better days. Show me how bad you wanna stay. All my trust was just all linked together, because that's where Better Days also came from. Like, Fighting for Love was honestly just like, it was the core of the album. Because that, writing Come Home made me feel like, oh shit, I could kind of write. And then writing Fighting for Love, I was like, yo, my nigga, like, this was like some heartfelt shit. Like, my nigga, that's the type of music I listen to. So, you know, I was like, whoa, like, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, this is some type of shit my favorite artist wrote. I was like, yo, like, this is some classic shit. Because really, honestly, it is some classic shit. How he brought me out of darker days. How he told me, bro, you gotta play. Set me down with some Heaven's Gate. How he told me, bro, you gotta play was really me thinking towards Justin. That's like my day one right there. But that nigga was the nigga that put me in like a better light, really. Like, he was just hella goofy. And like, he just told me, bro, you just gotta smile, you know? But like, Justin was just hella goofy. So that's just like, bro, you just gotta play. Because he showed me that like, even as a kid, I don't know why, I just wasn't the most happiest kid for some reason at sometimes. But like, he showed me that like, you could just have fun and just not give a fuck for some reason. And like, it's just been the vibe since then, you know what I mean? 7:57, laid in my bed and I'm looking up to heaven. Look at my bro, man, that nigga like 11, but he don't really get it. Fighting for love, but we ain't can enable. 7:57, laid in my bed and I'm looking up to heaven. Look at my bro, man, that nigga like 11, but he don't really get it. Fighting for love, but we ain't can enable. That's the mind behind the movement. It's the notorious A.C.E. This was Fighting for Love. Let's get it. Yeah.